Hello everyone, my name is Leah Irby and my presentation today is going to be on passing by Nella Larsen and the effects that passing has had in the African American community today. In this novel, the main characters pass for white to live a better life. People who pass for white are often looked at as Uncle Toms for turning their back on their people. But it is the oppressive white society that is causing these characters to pass for white. During slavery, light-skinned blacks were put in favor of their slave master. The lighter-skinned slaves were often assigned housework, and the darker-skinned slaves were often assigned work in the field. Even on the auction block, light-skinned slaves were sold for a higher price. The oppressive system teaches African Americans in order to gain any type of freedom, whether that be financial, physical, or emotional, one must be as close to white as possible. This is how Claire Kendry was raised in the novel Passing. She was taught that her skin color would always be a deficit in her life. Claire never had a chance to embrace her blackness because of her upbringing. She was born into a family that viewed blackness with negativity. Claire never had a chance. During the post-slavery era, light-skinned African Americans were set apart from the rest of the community. They are held to a higher standard. White society only accepts black excellence that physically resembles them. I'm going to say this again. White society only accepts black excellence that physically resembles them. This has been showcased with movie stars, activists, and even public figures. Lena Horne was one of the first African American actresses on the big screen. During this time, most African Americans were only portrayed as housekeepers and prostitutes. Horne's success was a big milestone in the community, but one could not help but notice her fair skin complexion. Somehow, being a light-skinned African American gives white society some comfort about giving blacks a crumb off their plate. This is also true with Irene Redfield. In the novel Passing, Irene has a colleague named Hugh Whitworth, a big political writer who is a big contributor to the social club that Irene serves as an official of. He is very close to Irene, who is a fair-skinned African American, and he is willing to drop big bucks for her organization. He feels comfortable with Irene because in his eyes, she is not like those other blacks. In broader terms, the ones who are dark-skinned and are portrayed negative to white society. Passing has transformed the beauty world into a billion-dollar industry with plastic surgery, skin bleaching, and European hair supply. The perception of beauty that light is right in the white society has poisoned the black community. Even stars like Lil' Kim, once a dark-skinned brown beauty, now has fair skin and a thinner nose. The mindset that light is right has a history in the post-slavery era with the brown paper bag principle. A physical test that tests if an African American was darker than the plastic bag. And if they were too dark. African Americans started using this test on each other for social clubs, churches, Greek life, and even HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. Irene and Claire were passing for white for a better life. The blame is often put on the people who pass in fear of neglecting heritage, but it is the exact opposite. Irene and Claire are oppressed by the racist white society that will not allow blacks to live comfortably unless they resemble or come close to white. In result of slavery, Colorism has become a pathway into passing. This has created an eternal issue in the African American community with elitism, which bridges the divide between African Americans as a whole. Thank you all for watching.